All right, let's get some oil going, because in most of my classes the last 2 weeks, I feel like, I lost one week. I've been centering more on the hips. Today, I'd like to invite a little bit of upper body work. Is that okay?
It is.
We watch your shoulder. Okay. Yeah, but which dominant side is it? I mean, which side? Is it on your dominant? Okay.
Because for a long time, my range of motion in this elbow or in this shoulder,
Okay. All right, so today when we go into the poses, don't go all the way. Okay, you know how to modify. All right. So use the oil here. Close down the eyes. And as you cup the palms over the nose, begin to deepen the breath. Allowing the inhale through the nose. Allowing the fragrance of the oil to open up the nasal passage. You can almost taste it going through the throat, expanding through the chest. Maybe even feel it all the way to the belly. And here you let yourself arrive. The body landing on the mat. The body giving all of its weight to the support of the mat and the earth. It's not just the physical body. Allow the mental body and the emotional body to land and feel supported as well. Shoulders fall away from the ears, melt down towards the mat. Maybe you bring the hands to the belly so that you can actually feel the rise and fall of the breath as it enters and leaves the body. Hips heavy, heels heavy, legs loose. We've been working with this intention of letting go of control this week, realizing we can't control everything, even though we try. So today I ask you, maybe we set the intention to just let our lives unfold naturally. Get out of your way. Stop using that valuable energy to fight against things you have no control over. You have control over your breath. And with that practice, you have control over the way that you respond to things that are outside of your control. That's what we learn here on the mat, that we take out there into the real world. Take a full deep breath in. Pema Chodron says, for the most difficult of times that we experience, most of them we give ourselves. God bless. Mark Twain said, I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which has never happened. And isn't that true? Most of which have never happened. But how many nights have you laid in bed worried, using up that energy, things you cannot control that never happen. So that's the intention I'd like to set for this practice. It's a lesson that I have to keep learning. Pema Chodron also says, nothing ever goes away until it's taught you what you need to know. Take one more full round of breath. Make it expansive through the chest, so the collarbone, the chest fills with air, with prana. Let the breath go as slow as you possibly can. And then if you're using that sandbag, gently slide the sandbag off to the side. Take a bend gently into the knees, roll off onto one side. We'll just remove all of the props. Come back down onto the back. Take that nice good morning stretch, fingers away from toes. Oh. We did core this week. This stretch just tells me how much I worked the core. We'll do a little bit of that this morning as well. So as you release the clasp of the hands overhead, let those arms just roll out to the side and down as you lift the knees into the chest. Nice good morning hug here as the forearms wrap around the shins, rocking from one side to the other. And then keeping that right knee in towards the side body, interlaced around that right shin. Double check those shoulders and the neck and the face. No tension there. Let everything softly fall. Extend the left leg long. Let it hover off of the mat a couple inches. So pressing through that left heel, toes straight up towards the ceiling. Begin to notice, again, we talked about the quads this morning. In order to hold that leg up even a couple inches, the quad engages, the hip flexor engages, the core even engages. Press through the heel, then gently drop that heel down to the mat. Focusing right on the hip on the right side, just take right and left, easy movement. Feeling into the hip joint, noticing any sensations that you might feel there. And interlacing behind the right hamstring, leading with the heel, begin to straighten the right leg. And straighten, not straight, just straighten it to where you begin to feel the hamstring stretch without taking it any further. And as the heel points away and the toes point down towards your face, can you press the thigh into the palms? So you're actually tensing here, pressing that leg as hard as you can away from the body, even straightening through those arms. And then nice and easy, release the breath as you exhale. Draw the thigh in close to the chest. Inhale, we bring the leg back up to neutral. And again, pressing the hamstring into the palms. Using that tension here. And then when you're ready for the exhale, let it go. Draw the thigh in. Maybe a little bit closer this time. Last time, leg comes back to neutral. Press the thigh into the hands. And then release. The breath is easy. Thigh comes in. Walking the hands up, maybe to the calf. Deepening the stretch. Thigh in maybe a little bit closer. And then bending into that right knee, reaching for the blade edge of the foot or holding onto the ankle of the calf, or taking that forearm across the knee crease. Draw that right knee in towards the side body. Wherever you are, soften the whole upper body here. We're going to be working some upper body. So use this time to let the upper body relax. Press that knee further down towards the mat, really opening up through the back of the glutes, the piriformis there. And then bring the hands back to the ankle, back to the knee. I'm going to take a nice little twist here. So the right knee is going to come across the body over to the left. Doesn't have to hit. Just getting a nice gentle spinal twist. Right hand extends out to a T. Maybe the left hand rests on that thigh. If you feel a little more open this morning, maybe you explore straightening that right leg out to the side again, leading with the heel. Breathing into the top ribs. Allowing the exhale to allow everything to soften. If the leg is extended, rebend. And let's bring that right knee back into the chest, nice and slow. Draw the knee back in once more, give it a squeeze. Draw the left knee in to meet the right. Take a nice rock just to reset the spine. And we'll interlace right around the left shin, as we extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. So you might feel a little bit looser in the back of the leg here. Begin that point and flex. Really working into the front of that ankle. And as you point that toe way up, you'll feel the skin on top of the foot kind of stretched. A hard stretch again to get in our normal course of the day. Circle one direction and the other. Flare the toes and make a fist. Flare the toes and bring them all in tight. And then re-extend the heel up towards the ceiling, toes towards the face. Draw the belly in, soften again. Notice the shoulders and the neck. And nice and slow, right leg begins to descend. Notice what you notice along its little journey there, the quad, hip flexor, the abs. Heel rests, press the heel away. Gently begin that rock right into the left hip joint. Interlacing behind the hamstring, lifting the leg towards the ceiling. Noticing, again, without judgment, how straight you can get it. But the heel leads, the toes point down. And as you interlace, again, here, we're gonna press that thigh into the hands as hard as we can. And as you exhale, you're gonna release everything and draw the thigh in closer to the chest. Inhale, legs come back to neutral, and we press the leg away. Exhale, we release that effort. Find the ease, bring the thigh in closer to the chest. One more time. Leg comes neutral. Thigh presses into the hands. Exhale, release. Draw the thigh in, maybe a little bit closer. Soften where you can soften, shoulders away from ears. That's a good one to bring in a lot of tension into the upper body. So see if you can let that go. Maybe walk the hands to the calf. Deep breath in, we draw the whole pelvic floor in and up. Maybe we find the ankle, doesn't matter. Just draw the thigh in as close as you can. And then bend into that left knee. We're gonna find that half happy baby pose on this side. So take whatever option, forearm, holding on to calf or ankle, or the blade edge. Deep breath in, belly in, draw that knee down closer towards the mat. And just see where you can let go here. Nothing to do. We let the body, we let gravity just unfurl. One more breath. And then bringing the hands back to the ankle or the calf. We're just going to draw that left knee across the body, coming into a gentle spinal twist. Left arm extends to the side. The foot can rest on the inner thigh. If the knee doesn't come all the way down, you can use a block under the knee if you want to see if you can support the knee on something. If you feel more open on this side, maybe you play with extending that top leg out to the side, getting more of a stretch through the IT band and the back of the hamstring. Soften where you can soften. If the leg is extended, rebend into the knee. Let's all take a nice deep breath. Bring that knee back up to center. Squeeze it into the chest. Right knee joins. Again, take the rock or make big circles into both hip joints. Making big circles one direction and the other. So if you're feeling this in the back, take the rock, give yourself that massage. You want to just loosen up through the hips, take the circles. And then pausing there, roll over onto one side, and let's make our way to seated. And in our seat, I invite you to elevate the hips by sitting on the crease of a blanket or a crease of your bolster. Tilting the pelvis so that you've got lots of room in the low back, and also an opportunity to allow the knees to fall. Always an option, right? To take one at a time. Find that imaginary wall behind you. Maybe close down the eyes as the hands rest lightly on top of the thighs, the elbows rest beside the body. Send the shoulders back, the back of the head to rest on that wall. Take a moment here to just feel into the body. So taking that scan from the root, draw it up the spine as you draw the belly in. As the breath flares the ribs, feel that space you're creating in the back body. Breath travels all the way to the crown of the head, shoulders soft. And then take the scan back, just like a sand timer. Let it drain from the head to the neck, the length of the spine. Let it settle at the root. So feel into your sit bones as you have this nice groundedness here in your seated pose. And we're going to take the alternate Nadi Shodham breath that was requested. So we're going to use the thumb and the ring finger. I like to place the other two fingers right at the third eye. So the concept is we're going to center both sides of our brain and our body, feminine and masculine. So, or you can use the pinky finger too. Closing off one nostril. Take a breath in. Close off the opposite nostril. Take a breath out. Breathe in. Close off. Exhale out. Close off. Breathe in. Close off. Breathe out. Now this side. Breathe in. Close off. Alternating nostril breath. Five more complete rounds here. Nice and slow, nice and deep. When you feel ready, release the hand back down to the thigh. Keeping the gaze soft, again, soften the shoulders, come back to your own natural rhythm of breath. Gently blinking the eyes open. A beautiful breath practice to come to. Thank you, Julie, for asking, because it's a good centering and great grounding. Release the left leg out to the side, right sole of the foot in, and maybe take something underneath the knee so it's not quite as rigid. So we're really going to be working upper body here, so there's no need to re-stretch into the legs. Take a nice full deep breath in. Turn the torso towards that leg. Just take a little walk, maybe the hands coming to rest right on the bolster. Use whatever, fingertips on the mat, hands on the bolster, to allow the chest to come between the hands, straightening through the spine. And then again, just like we did on our backs, keeping a straight spine and the neck right in line with the spine, can you fold over the thigh? Not trying to control it, breathing here. And then release and bring yourself back up. Now I have straps, but when I did this earlier, I think our straps are too short. Generally, I would take a strap, I'd bring it behind, and I would hold it with this hand. And I think you might have done this with me. You might be able to do this. It was just too short for me. So strap the ball mound, one hand, bring it around the back. Reach the right arm around to grab the strap. Okay, I don't think it's, okay, it might work. The whole reason that we're doing this, and you can do the same thing by just grabbing onto the side, you should have, okay. You can do the same thing by just grabbing onto, I'm gonna grab onto the outside of my pant leg here, or the top of my waistband. No, it isn't. And if you buy straps, that might be a good strap, okay? Always buy one that's at least 10 feet long. I think these are 6 to 8. You have one? Okay. So even without, we can do the exact same movement. Right arm swings behind us. I'm going to just grab on to the top of my leggings. I'm going to use that. The whole reason why you've got the strap, the whole reason why you have the bind is to open up the shoulder. Okay, so we're going to rotate. So the shoulders are now on a diagonal. The chest has rotated. I'd like you to bring the forearm of the left hand down, either onto your thigh, onto that bolster or some support, or maybe you feel open enough to rest the forearm, back of the arm on the mat. Keep that rotation. Let go of the strap. So just take a breath here. Again, shoulder tip back and away from the ears. And then allow that right arm to raise straight overhead, reach through the fingers. So we didn't move the rotation. We didn't move the shoulders at all, right? Take a full breath here. And then take that top arm back on a diagonal. So again, your gaze can be straight down if that's better for your neck. Reach through the fingers on the diagonal, and again, begin to feel the space along the collarbone, the opening through the pecs, the bicep. Reach through the fingers. Notice your breath. Full deep breath here. And then bringing that gaze down towards that left knee, take that arm back up, straight up, reach up, find all the length, and then twist the little pinky finger around and bring the pinky finger towards that left big toe. Keep that elbow back, nice big stretch to the side body. Breathe into the ribs. Easy breath in. If you find the breath constricted, bring yourself out a little bit. The breath is your teacher. See if you can settle here. See if you can rotate the chin down, letting the head and the neck relax. Finding a little bit of length through the back of the neck. And then lift that arm back to the ceiling and we reach through the fingers. And then lower that arm out to the side, directly out of the hips, shoulder socket. Gaze is still down. And then lower it again a couple inches off of the mat. So beginning to create this length along the side of the neck, across the top of the shoulders. Reach through those fingers. Chin is down. From this position, begin to rotate the chin up. Moving slow. Stretching, moving from the side of the neck, maybe to the back. Draw it back. Lower the hand just a couple inches and send it back a couple inches. Just till you can feel, again, the stretch through the scalenes, the top of the trapezius. Notice your breath. One more full inhale. Slow exhale. We'll end with that chin down. Begin to bring that arm straight out, right out of the shoulder joint. Reach through the fingers. And just like your friend was pulling you up, let those fingers reach out to the right to draw you back up to center. Beautiful. Switch it around. As a matter of fact, before you switch it around, come to center first. Just take a couple cat-cows just to release the spine. And as you do your cat-cow seated, I want you to pay close attention to what that right side feels like compared to the left. So maybe the stretch was intense. Hopefully not too intense. Good, and we'll switch the opposite way. So if you use the bolster underneath the knee crease, grab your bolster. Right leg's going to extend. Again, if you're using that blanket to sit up on, just reposition yourself so that you do feel the sit bones. Sitting up nice and tall, we take that full breath in. Begin to walk the hands out, nice straight spine, neck in line with the spine. I'm going to rest my hands because I am using the bolster on the curve of the bolster. I'm going to use that as a little leverage to draw my chest between the arms. I'm going to draw in my belly, and I'm going to use my exhale to see if I can soften over my thigh. Same thing, just using body weight here that we did on our backs. One more breath. And then nice and slow, make your way back up. Again, if you were successful with the strap, we're going to strap up here. Otherwise, we're going to take that left hand, circle it around, reach for that waistband or your shirt, whatever you can grab onto. Use that, again, to begin to move the left shoulder behind you. Shoulders now on a diagonal. Drop that left shoulder down so it's not near the ear. Take a breath. Then release the strap or release whatever you're holding on to. Keep again this stretch and lift the arm up towards the ceiling. And as you reach up, find all the length. Shoulders stacked on a diagonal. Send that top hand behind you on a diagonal. So again, check in with the neck. No strain there. Either look down or follow the thumb. Full breath. Spaciousness across the chest, the pecs, all the way to the fingers. Reach the arm back up nice and slow overhead. Find all the length. Turn the little pinky finger in. Take a nice lateral bend. Pinky finger towards the big toe. Elbow goes back. Shoulders are still on that diagonal. Draw the belly in. Use the breath here to soften where you can soften. One more full round of breath. And when you're ready for the next inhale, left arm's going to re-extend to the ceiling. We're going to find all that length. Then we're going to drop that arm down halfway first. Gaze down now towards the right knee. Drop the hand a little bit more to hover. Send the right ear towards the right shoulder. Chin is up. Again, subtle stretch, but we should feel maybe along the side of the neck, the scalings there, across the top of the shoulders. Keep the chest open. Drop the fingers just a little bit more. Begin that rotation again, chin down, chin up, chin down, chin up. Explore and pause anywhere that you might feel a little bit of tightness. Just use the breath and see if you can soften that out. We'll all end with the chin facing the right shoulder. One more stretch as you reach those fingertips away. And then bring the arm back, right parallel with the mat. And again, just like a dear friend, pulling you back up. Bring yourself back. Center. Remove the bolster and roll over onto hands and knees. And from your hands and knees, flow a couple cat-cows again, just to release the spine. Mm. The slower you can make your cat cow, the more you can feel into all the little muscles along the spine. You might even feel into the muscles in the front body. Trying to keep the gaze just to the top of the mat so you don't bring any cranking into the neck. Each movement is a breath. And then making your way back to a neutral table. Neutral table spine is nice and long. The belly draws in and up. We press through the palms so there's a roundness in our shoulders. Taking a thread, the needle here, we're going to lift that right arm out to the side. We're going to lift it up. And then we're going to weave that arm underneath the body to come down to rest on the shoulder and the temple. So we're going to kind of play with this thread the needle. We do this all the time. So we think, we know where we're going, but that always changes, right? Out of our control. So from this position, we're just going to play first, walking the fingertips forward, just directly out of the shoulder overhead, coming on to tented fingers. The hips stay over the knees. The belly comes tightly in to protect the back. Walk those fingertips over to the right corner. Again, not forcing, not controlling, just walk it over and notice how that begins to rotate the chest open. Pausing there, notice your breath. Now coming off of those tented fingers, plant the palm. You're going to use that palm as some leverage here as you send that left leg long behind you, resting on the ball of the foot. So allow yourself to balance here first. So we've got a little bit of a twist going on. We've got an opening through the shoulder going on. Now we've got some length through the back of the leg as you press that heel away going on. And as you engage your core here, pick up that foot and draw that leg to the side body directly out of the hip. You can plant the heel or you can stay up on the ball of the foot. Take that top hand, take a bind here. So bring the hand behind the back of the hand to the small of the back, to the waist, or even the fingertips to the hip crease. Again, just like we did in that seated pose, use that to draw the top shoulder down and away. And notice your breath. Maybe from this position, you bring the top hand to the outer calf, pick up that foot a little bit and draw it in more on a diagonal. Funny name for this pose in yin is the rolling panda. Why? Because we're totally off balance. And it's very easy to roll right over onto your back body. And if you roll, that's fine. It's playful. Pandas are playful. So find a position where you can take 3 more breaths. Do you feel the shoulder? Do you feel the twist in through the torso with the leg extended? Do you feel, again, the muscles on the outside of the hamstring and the glutes? Full rounds of breath. And wherever that left hand is, plant that hand right next to your face, palm down. Use that to hold yourself as you take that leg back, coming out the same way we went in. Press into the palm to release the arm, take the counter. And then bring the hand back down, knee is in, shifted back, extended child's pose. As you extend the tailbone long and the fingers in front of you, again, feel the length you're creating in the spine. And then bring yourself back, all fours. Flow a cat and a cow. And we'll come back to neutral, thread the needle on this side, left arm out to the side and up. Draw it underneath the body. Reach those fingers away from you as you come to rest on the shoulder and on the side of the head. And if the side of the head isn't comfortable, grab for a block or your blanket or something to support the head. Take a breath here. Keeping the hips over the knees, walk the right fingertips straight out in front of you. Find that stretch first. And then nice and slow, walk those fingertips as far to the left as is good for your body this morning, and let that help rotate the chest up towards the ceiling. No need to push this. So option to stay here, option to stay with the arms straight, option to take a bind. But if you played on the other side, extending the right foot back, resting on the ball of the foot, pressing the heel away, staying there. Or maybe swinging that leg off to the side, reaching for that big toe with your fingers. Taking that half bind if you did so. Hand to the back body. Make sure you're not putting any weight into your neck here. Bring the shoulder tip away and down. And notice your breath. And notice where you feel it on this side. And again, if you want to deepen it or advance one more time, maybe you take that top hand and you reach for that calf or the ankle. And I almost did a rolling panda. And you hop the little big toe forward. Doesn't matter where you are. What matters is how's your breath. Take another round. Wherever that right hand is, remove it and plant it right by your face. And wherever you are, you're going to come out the same way you went in. So my leg's out to the side. I'm going to extend it back behind me. I'm going to draw the knee in to meet the left. I'm going to press into the palm. I'm going to take the counter stretch. I'm going out and up. And then I'm bringing the hand back down. Tuck the toes under, press into the palms, lift your hips up, find a down dog. So start with the upper body first, since that's what we're working. Keep a deep bend into the knees. As the hips go sky high and back, press the palms away from you. It's such a key thing. Just like you could separate your mat, that takes the weight out of the wrists. Bring the eyes of the elbows to face each other. Notice if you're holding up your head, I like the cue, look at your navel. You're not going to see it, but you're going to allow that head to fall. So you've got this nice long line from the tailbone all the way through the fingers. Begin to pedal maybe one foot out, straightening one leg at a time. An easy movement. Again, feeling into the back, the Achilles, the calves. And then coming up high onto both balls of the feet, hips again high, press those palms away from you and then drop the heels together, closer to the mat. Head hangs, hold here, one full round of breath. And let it go. Come up back onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the thumbs, your choice. Step, jump, or hop, top of the mat. Find your forward fold. Let the weight of the body, and again, gravity, do all the work. Find a half lift. So we're going to bring the hands to the shins or fingertips if they're on the mat. Tailbone one direction, crown of the head the other, shoulders draw back onto the back. And as you exhale, let it all go, forward fold. Press into the feet, bend the knees, roll your way up to stand. Allow the arms to come out Allow the arms to come overhead, hands find prayer. Maybe a little back bend feels good. And draw the prayer into the heart space. Pausing again here. And with your own breath and your own time, we're going to flow 3 half sun sounds. I'm going to be quiet. If you get lost along the way, just allow what feels good to come into your body. Maybe eyes closed, and we make it more of a moving meditation here. We'll start with the inhale, reaching the arms. And then you take it. Flow what feels good in your body without trying to control it. Slowly finishing that round. Taking your time, there's nowhere to go here. Meeting in our prayer Tadasana as you're ready. Shoulders soft, face soft. Working into our warrior 1 and humble warrior. As you inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, maybe this time if you didn't before, swan dive forward, straight spine, fingertips, thumbs come maybe by the little pinky toe as you fold. Half lift, shine the heart forward and fold. Plant the hands, right foot steps back, planted at a 45-degree angle. Front knee is right over the ankle, toes pointing forward. Press into the feet, use the power of those hips, lift those arms out in front of you and up. Sink into the hips, watch the knee doesn't sickle, and put some weight into the back foot. So see where you can soften here first. Nice, easy breath. And then take the arms out to a T, reach through the fingers. Bring the arms forward, right arm underneath the left. Take an eagle arm, any variation, or just bring your hands to the back of the shoulder blades. Lifting up the elbows, hands come away from the face, draw a deep breath in. And as you exhale, come forward, nice and slow. Humble your warrior, shoulder inside the knee, fingers down towards the mat, head hangs, easy breath. Feel the space between the shoulder blades and send the breath right there. Keep the bend into the front knee, keep some weight into the back foot. Big inhale here. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale, pressing into the feet, use your core. Draw the arms up. Gaze goes with the hands. Take a little arch. And draw it back to neutral. Release the arms. Hands come to the waist. Straighten the front leg. Pivot the foot. Come to the long edge of your mat. And from here, pivot one more time. So the right foot is at the back of the mat. Set the back heel back a little bit so that foot is at a 45. Find your warrior 1 here. So again, toes pointing straight forward. The knee comes right over that second toe. Sink into the pelvis. Notice weight in the back foot. Belly comes in. Lift the arms. Take a full breath. Allow again the arms to come out to a T. This time left is going to come underneath the right. Take whatever bind is available. Lifting those elbows, shoulder height. Send the fingertips away. Big breath in, belly in. And as you exhale slowly, humble the warrior. Draw the elbows into the belly. The hands down to the mat. The shoulder inside of the knee. Allow the head to hang heavy. Full breath. Slow exhale. Same thing here with these eagle arms. We open up the shoulder blades. Can you send a full deep breath right behind the heart? Press into the feet now. Next inhale, we're going to rise back up. Elbows come up. Fingers reach overhead. Small arch in the spine. And then exhale, elbows come to neutral. Open up. Reach the arms up. Circle them back behind you. Frame the front foot. Step back. Plank pose. Drop the knees down. So you're in a knee plank here. So you're shifting those hips forward. Nice long line. Hug the elbows in. Shoulders are ready for this. 5 half push-ups. Draw the belly in. Look straight down. Big inhale. And as you exhale, lower halfway. Inhale slowly. Press back up. 4 more. Lower down. Halfway. Whew. Push up. Take 3. Use breath. And as you push back on that last one, set those hips back towards the heels. Belly towards the thighs. Release the arms beside the body, palms up. Allow those shoulders to round in. Forehead on a block or the mat. Notice the breath is contained in the front. So feel the breath in the back ribs, the back of the lung, between the shoulder blades. If you want to deepen this just a little bit, stack the palms on top of the mid-back. Let the elbows bring some weight into the shoulders. Or if it's available to you for your wrist, maybe you take a reverse prayer at the back of the heart. Wherever you are, begin to settle the breath down. Settle the body. Again, quieting the mind as we move into our final resting pose of Shavasana. So enjoy 3 or 4 more rounds. Shoulders round, chest relaxes, belly soft. And in this stillness, maybe again, you feel the entire length of the spine expand, opening up the channels that we know exist there. Full, easy breath. And then we'll release those hands right underneath the shoulders. Press into the palms to lift the torso. Let's all grab our mat, take it to the wall over there. We'll end our practice with legs up the wall. Okay. If legs up the wall doesn't sound good to you and you want to come into that stone hedge where we have the 2 pillars with the big bolster. Also, when you go to the wall, if you do legs up the wall, maybe you experiment with putting a bolster underneath the hips. Yeah. So that makes it a little bit more restorative. Good for you. Good for you. No. So important for our feet, huh? So making our way to wherever you want to be. Set that hip up against the wall. Bring the hands behind you as you elevate the legs and kind of roll onto your back. I always laugh when I say do the scoochie scoochie to get as close to the wall as your hamstrings will allow. Yeah, if you're going to use a bolster, it's best to come onto your back, then press your feet into the wall to lift the hips up. A blanket underneath the head. Anybody would like a blanket? Raise your hand just to support the head. Eye pillow. You have one? I'll bring it to you. So really taking the time to set this up. Set it up in a comfortable place where you can spend the next few minutes in stillness, allowing all your efforts of your practice today to settle into the mind, the emotional body, the physical body. Big breath in, let it go. Allow the body to become completely at rest. Begin to bring a conscious breath back into the body. Allowing the breath to come in through the nose. Again, to fill the body with fresh chi, prana, life. Maybe point and flex the foot. And then draw the knees into the chest. Slide those heels down the wall. Take a little rock along the spine. Allowing yourself to rock over to one side, to just rest in a fetal pose, to close the practice, to honor yourself for rolling out your mat this morning, for coming to your practice, so that it might not only benefit you, but benefit everyone that you come into contact with today. Slowly press your way to seated. Maybe here, use the wall to help support the back in your seated pose. Legs can extend out in front of you, or you can bring yourself to Sukhasana. Arriving here again, feel the grounding sit bones. Draw the hands to prayer, thumbs by the heart. Bow the head right into the heart space. In gratitude for the inner wisdom that brought you to your practice this morning, I thank you for practicing with me. I thank you for practicing with each other. Namaste.